Good morning, good evening, or good night to lovely people watching. This video is part of a 5-part series of which I will be explaining 5 male canon events which every man is bound to or must go through in order to grow. The first off is going to be that no one is coming to save you. You also got to realize that if you're a woman watching this or a man, everyone is solely responsible for their own life, for their own doing, and for their own actions. Whatever you say and whatever you do, you're solely responsible for it because it is your life and no one is forcing you to say certain things or do certain things. This life is yours. The brain that's inside your skull, that is yours. The skin around you or on you, it's yours. The decision to grow a beard or get a tattoo, the decision is solely yours. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into the first subject. The first subject is realizing when no one is coming to save you. The moment I realized no one is coming to save me was when I actually moved out into this apartment. The first couple of months was crucial because when I moved everything in here, the first couple of weeks was like, yeah, freedom. Got up early, I did my own thing. My usual routines of going to work, sleeping, eating, and stuff like that. But then micro things start to happen. Small things that I usually didn't do when I lived with my parents. Things like when I started to, this fork has been used. Let's put it in the sink. That happened fork after fork after fork after knife after knife after plate and glass after glass until I had to take action of doing the dishes because I was so used to having a dishwasher and someone else doing it for me. When I realized I was running out of underwear, I realized that I had to learn how to do laundry. When I realized it started to become a mess and started to irritate me that I couldn't find certain things because I wasn't organized enough, I had to do something because I realized no one was coming to give me a handout. When rent was due, I realized that I had to pay the bills. If not, I would lose the apartment. When I didn't pay certain bills, it went into a collecting system, and then I would be handed another bill with fees. I learned that the hard way because I avoided responsibility for a period of time. And it's crucial that I'm saying this because when things like that happen, it had an effect on my mental health, physical health, credit score, and social life. When I started to turn things again in my life and I started to realize, well, shit, I can't do this. I need to change something. My first initial instinct was to fix everything all at once, but then I crashed. Then I started to make a list of, okay, what is the most prioritized thing that has to be fixed right here, right now? It is bills. Okay, pay that off. Fair enough. I have to use a little bit of my savings again. Fine. Bam, bam, bam. Pays everything off. And then over time, my credit score started to build again. Now, was that fixed? I needed to take care of my surroundings. Fair enough. And then I realized, I've been an asshole lately towards certain people. I should actually apologize for it and be the better person. Yeah, I should send a few text messages and give a few calls and show up some places. And then I started to see an increase in productivity because I then had started to have more time to do the things that I wanted to, like micro adventures that I do every single Sunday, basically exploring different places and having fun. When I started to say no and have a backbone, and I realized that even though I lost quote unquote friends, I realized I valued my peace more than I valued the friendship because it was just a waste of time. Small things like that added up to realizing that nobody did this for me. I took accountability and action solely myself. And the same goes for what quite is obvious, me being bald, me having a beard. I solely did my things myself. I let my beard grow because I wanted a beard. I got a tattoo because I've always wanted tattoos and always been fascinated by art. I've always been curious, how would I look bald? Damn, one day just shaved everything off. The same goes for you. You need to realize that, for example, if you're single, how would you acquire a girlfriend? No, not a paid subscription for an OnlyFans or Pornhub account. You would have to go out into the real world and approach and speak to women. And please, for God's sake, skip the face that I had. The weird, creep face that, like, yeah, let's go out there, and our bet today is we're going to be speaking to 15 women and we're going to get at least one phone number. What happened? Scare them off. Creepy as fuck. Because I was a fucking retard. Yes, I was a single-handedly fucking stupid idiot back in the day. Because my thought was, yeah, I want a relationship, so I'm gonna go out there speaking to women. So what happened? Well, I forgot that these people are people too. I didn't treat them with respect, and I was head on first with that mind, not this one, that mind. I was stuttering, I was nervous, I was overthinking. I tried so many phases like black pilled, red pilled, blue pilled. Cold approach never fucking worked out because it wasn't me. I wasn't authentic. When I learned from all these phases and I moved on from them and I was just authentic in myself, I started to realize that women started to become more attracted towards me when I was myself. Even though I've gone bald by shaving my hair off, my personality hasn't changed. The other day, I was at work. I was on lunch break, and I decided to go grab lunch. And I saw this, in my perspective, a 10 out of 10 woman. And I decided to say, you know what, fuck it. I complimented her because she stood out in the crowd of everyone else, because that's what I'm attracted to. As an example, someone that stands out, that just first is eye casting towards me, just like, yes, love that energy, love the outfit. Everyone else around me, white, gray, black, butterflies, flowers, sort of, what is it called? Outfits. Nothing wrong with it, but that specific woman stood out. Purple hair, black clothes, death skull tattoos on her arms, high boots in the summer, and I was like, yes, that was attractive. So I just went over to her and I said, you know what? I love your outfit. It stands out, and I love that you're being you. Keep that up. She blushed and she said, thank you very much. I could have continued and asked for her phone number, but I was on lunch break, so I wanted to enjoy my lunch. But just moments like that makes me realize that I'm grateful for just taking it and just doing it. I know that sounded fucking weird, but I'm grateful for that. I have this mindset of, fuck it. What in the world do I have to lose? Nothing. For example, yesterday, all the comments that I got because I decided to shave my hair off. People viewed me weird. People judged me. People had their own perspective about me. But that reflects back upon me. If I overreact to people's judgment about me, just tells you all you need to know about me. Someone called me a neo-Nazi. If I would have acted on anger, no, I don't look like a neo-Nazi. Oops, I just fucked myself over. If I reacted like that. I was called a neo-Nazi. My initial reaction was, I just started laughing. Because I knew beforehand that when I became bald, did it on purpose, I knew that judgment was upon me anyway. Because humans out there are people too, and they have their own perspective about certain things. The best comment that I got was that I looked like an Andrew Tate copycat. And I started fucking laughing because that was a well thought out comment. But I just laughed at every single one. And it just tells you that I subconsciously and my emotions knew that the way that I act just tells you everything you need to know. If I laugh at a situation where I fail and fall, I know subconsciously that I can try this thing several times and fail again until I succeed. And that goes towards the next part of this video, where you need to understand how easy it is to be yourself. In a world of completely fake people, most of the time I read through people's bullshit. The other day I was at a company, or actually a month ago, to get new glasses. And I was sitting across the woman helping me fill in a form, signing certain things and asking me questions just like, does this look right? Does this look wrong? How many letters do you see? This tone of customer service, I fucking hate it. So I just told her plain and simply, hey, I understand you're doing customer service, but around me you can just drop the filter. I don't need this overall just, oh, hi, how are you doing sort of thing. Just please be yourself. Do you know what happened? She dropped the mask and she was completely herself. The entire fucking mood of her just shifted. She was grateful that she got maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes out of her day just dropping the fucking mask of being in customer service and just being herself. She actually smiled more. She was actually more happy about it. And that made me realize that every single person working in customer service, they fucking hate it because they're working there just for the money. That reflects back towards me that I understand how it is to work in customer service because I work in customer service myself. I hate the filter. But it is so easy to actually win in this certain life. Because, of course, I understand it's your job, but that goes back to the world of being fake. Customer service is just putting on a mask and just being overly polite because you have to, because you're being there to pay it. And I understand that. But I mean, when that person comes home, what do? Sit down, unwind, watch Netflix. Do you know what I do? Not that I'm sounding superior or better, but I just come home, I grab a meal, and then I'm straight out the door again to head to the gym because I need to get this fucking frustration out of the system. That's me winning. That's me being different. That's me being authentic. Same goes towards you. Let's redirect this entire thing back to you again. You. Saving yourself. How do you do it? Well, you need to take action. And how do you solve your problems? You sit down and you face them. Let's go back about 10 minutes ago when I was talking about things that I, in general, had to deal with. When I took responsibility about taking the dishes, doing laundry, cleaning up after myself and doing this sort of shit, right? I started to have more spare time to spend towards the things that I like to do. And I'm a fucking nerd. And I can stand by that quote and I'll gladly speak about subjects for hours on end and how I would believe that Imperial Knights in Warhammer 40k fucks everyone else. Just to give an example. where the hell was I going with this? Yeah, back to the point. What do you want? The risks in this life. Now I'm switching from saving yourself to doing the things that will save you. What will save you? Because no one is saving you. You're saving yourself. But what are the actions? What are the things that will save you from yourself? From this crippling debt, from the crippling depression, from the crippling anxiety. What is it? If you already know the answer just like that, why not do it? What do you have to lose? Nothing! But I'm afraid of making a fool out of myself. So am I. Every single day I take a risk by putting my face on YouTube, by speaking about certain topics. I'm taking the risk because this is something I like. It's aligned with my goals. But I took the risk by one day saying, fuck it, put myself on YouTube. My greatest victories, your greatest victories, yes, yours greatest victories, the only person that really will truly value your own victories is yourself. You know what my greatest victories are? No one ever saw them. The first time I posted my first YouTube video on this channel, I was dumb enough to delete it, but you know what happened? I went to bed smiling that day, staring into the ceiling, and then because I was happy, because I did something that would save me. I fucked fear in the ass instead of fear fucking me in the ass. When I shaved my hair off, I was laughing my ass off because I was saving myself from boredom. And I killed curiosity. Because being bald, I've been curious about it for so long. That leads on to the last statement of this video. When you're going to save yourself, if you know the answer, what will save you? What is really stopping you? Write it down, take notes, and take action. Either plan or don't plan it, but one day you'll have to do it. Since the age of 16 or 17 years old, for more than 5 fucking years, I've been curious. What would happen if I just went bald? I remember the reason it stopped me. The fear of being judged, people's perspective. Every friend, every coworker, every family member, I haven't heard one single yes. Except for a few, why not do it? What is stopping you? Those have flown over my head. But other than that, 99% of it was just no. And when I let people's opinion affect my judgment and perspective, I lost. Because I didn't do the thing that made me authentic. I didn't do the things that was me. It took me 5 years to spend 30 minutes to shave my fucking hair off. For a lifelong experience. To know that one day I'll get the question, do you know how it is to be bald? Indeed, I actually do. When I was 23 years old, at that date, I just decided to shave everything off. Here are the repercussions of it. Every single day that I look myself in the mirror, I have a tendency, oh yeah, never mind, I shaved my own hair off. Going bald, posting my first YouTube video, and what I'm about to do around the corner. Climb a tree to the top. Climb a tree to the top? How are you saving yourself then? Well, I will be living life because I've always had a fear of heights. I was never the child when I was younger to face fear. I was the quiet child, the one that cowered away most of the times. But now that I've grown older, I start to realize that, why not? One of these days coming up, do you know what happened? Just like me shaving my hair off, curiosity is banging at the damn door, thinking, hey, what would happen if we really climbed to the top of the tree? Because I know about 4 or 5 trees in my local area that are climbable and has no real repercussion because I know they will handle my weight. The only thing that is stopping me is me and letting fear take over. That will be when I swear to fucking God that when I climb that tree to the top, that will be a personal victory. That will be put down and stamped in my book of experience. Because one day I want to look back upon my 20s, not with regret, but with joy. Because I want to look back upon my 20s and think, well, everyone else was out partying, building a life, like getting into debt, going to school, and of course, living their sort of life. I want to one day be the 30-year-old that did the extreme. When I look back upon it, what did I do? When I was 23 years old, I went bald. 24, I lost all my financial situation. I have to build myself from the ground up. When I was 26, met my wife. 27, I had a kid. 30 years old, becoming a multi-millionaire. No one knows. Just to give an example. I want to have deadlines and dates and things overall, and I want a personal record of everything that I've done in life. That's what gets me out of bed every single day. I'm trying to save myself and trying to save my own future. It is you versus you. Fuck everyone else, but seek guidance when you need it. Take care.